Students. In the last class, we have discussed about proteins, right? So, what is the importance of protein, and what are the biological importance when I can say, and its character we have saw, and then amino acids, right? So, amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. So, without the amino acids, the protein will not be formed, right? One we can say without the alpha amino acids. So that means, as I said you in the last class itself, that amino group is having a alpha hydrogen atom. So thus, with respect to carbonyl group, I mean carboxylic acid group. So just beside the carboxylic group, there will be a what alpha amino acid. So thus, it will be we call it as a. I will show you. We call it as a alpha amino acid like this. This is the carbonyl group, and with respect to the carbonyl group, just beside the carbonyl group, there is a alpha hydrogen. So thus, alpha hydrogen, you can consider this as or else this, both are same. So that means alpha, at the alpha position, there will be a what hydrogen. So thus, alpha amino acid when we say, right? In the last class itself, I have given you the diagram also, right? So now today, as I said in the last class itself, we will see the classification of the amino acids. So the classification is very important part, right? Why? Because in classification, when we come to know what the amino acid is consists of. If amino acid is having more number of what carboxylic group, then what we should call, if it consists of more amino groups, then it will be considered as a which type of amino acid. And if both the amine as well as carbonyl groups are in equal number, then what type of amino acid it is, right? We will going to see everything. So before going to that, I want to clear you that in the yesterday's class, the general structure will be like this, right? So you just remember this. There will be a amino group, right? And there is a long alkyl group chain or hydrocarbon chain, one we can say, right? So in every amino acid, right? That means amino acids are the building blocks of protein, are nothing but protein or amino acid is consist of acid as well as the base alternatively, right? Acid as well as the base. Acid in the form of carboxylic acid and base in the form of amino group. Why we are calling this as an acid means it has a capacity to accept lone pair of electron. And why we are calling this as a, I mean amino group as a base is nothing but it has a capacity to donate the lone pair of electron. And we already know a group which is having a capability to donate the electron, that means lone pair of electron according to Lewis, right? Lewis. So according to Lewis, if it is having capacity to having a donated lone pair of electron, then that is called as a base. And those compounds who has a capability to accept the electron, that means lone pair of electron, not electron, lone pair of electron, then such compounds are called as what? Acids. So in the same way, here in the amino acids we have acid as well as the base, right? So now acid in the form of carboxylic acid and base in the form of what? Amine, right? You remember this, then classification will be very, very simple, right? So we will move directly to the classification. So classification of amino acids. Classification of amino acids. So first classification we will see based on what? Based on nature, right? First classification is based on nature. So how they react, I mean how they act naturally. Based on nature, one we call, one we classify this amino acid into three categories, right? So among those three, the first one is neutral amino acids. Very important. Neutral amino acids. Why? Because these parts are very important in the form of example, right? So why I'm giving you a very deep discussion is nothing but you will be having example type questions based on these things, right? So that's why these are very important. The first one is neutral amino acid. So neutral amino acid is nothing but see here in amino acid we have both. That means acid as well as base. See, if positives are equal to the negative, then what we say neutral, right? If positive is more, negatives are I mean, coming less, then definitely what we say, it will be a positive character species. If negatives are more and positives are less, then definitely when we say it is a negatively charged species, right? So in the same way, neutral is nothing but here the number of amino acid, amino group as well as carboxylic groups are equal, right? I repeat, these amino acids, these amino acids having these amino acids having equal number of equal number of amino group and COOH group, that is carboxylic group, amino group as well as carboxylic group. And that means very simple definition. So if the number of amino group are equal to the number of carboxylic group or acid is equal to the base, then it is called as the number of, that means if it is present in the two number, then definitely it should be having a two acids, right? So if it is having three, it should be three, right? Like this. Neutral, that means no charge C on these type of amino acids. Those are called as neutral amino acids. And the best example is glycine, right? You might have known this glycine. Glycine and alanine. Glycine and alanine. So these are the two best examples, right? So glycine and alanine are the neutral amino acids, right? You remember this point, real and this thing is very simple, right? So you try to see this, right? If you know the general structure of amino acid, then this part will be very easy, right? So next is acidic amino acid. This is number two, acidic amino acid. So the name is itself indicates what here in amino acid, acid is what? COOH and base is NH2. That means acidic amino acid is nothing but these type of amino acids are having more number of COOH group as compared to NH2, right? So directly when we can say these amino acids having these amino acids having more number of these amino acids having more number of COOH groups. COOH groups. Right? Acid is nothing but what? COOH, carboxylic acid. If the number of, I have said, if the number of acids are more, then it will be acidic amino acid. Then NH2 group. Then NH2 group are called, right? Are called acidic amino acid. And for these examples are glutamic acid. Examples are again very important. Glutamic acid, aspartic acid. These are the two best examples one we can say. We have still more number of acidic amino acid, but these are the two best examples one we can say. Glutamic acid as well as aspartic acid. These are the two amino acids in which the number of COOH groups are more than what? NH2 groups. So these are called what? Acidic amino acids. So now the next is last one, the third type in this category is nothing but basic amino acid. Number 3, basic amino acid. So now you just change this. I mean, if the number of NH2 groups are more than what? COOH group. If the number of NH2 groups are more than COOH group, that means here the bases are more, right, as compared to the acid. So that's why what we call this as a basic amino acid. And the examples are for basic amino acid, example is lysine, right? You find more examples, right? So lysine is the best example one I can say, right? So the lysine we might see more number of NH2 group as compared to the COOH group. That means acid group. If the base group is more than acidic group, then those are called as basic amino acids. So this is all about the based on nature. And the next one is based on biological activity, right? So based on next category of classification is based on biological activity. Based on biological activity. So based on biological activity, already you know we have two categories. That means essential and non-essential amino acids, right? So first one we will see essential amino acids. The name itself indicates essential amino acids. Essential means very important. That means essentially we require these. So these are the amino acids which are not synthesized in our body, right? So that's why the name is essential. So these are the amino acids. These are the amino acids. Amino acids which cannot be synthesized in our body, right? Which cannot be synthesized in our body are called essential amino acids. So that's why the name is essential. So these type of amino acids, one we cannot be synthesized in our body. So that's why these type of amino acids are called as essential amino acids. And these are lysine, example, lysine. Next one, alanine. So that means for these we are totally depend on our diet. That means our food, right? Alanine and valine. So these are the three examples for this essential amino acids. We have still more examples. You find it out. So essential amino acids. These type of amino acids cannot be synthesized in our body. So that's why these are called as essential amino acids. And for the examples are lysine, alanine, and the valine, right? So the last one is non-essential. So that means for essential amino acids, we are totally depend on our diet. I mean our food, right? So next one is second one, non-essential amino acids. Non-essential amino acids. That means we suppose not depend on any food. Our body itself can be synthesized these type of amino acids. So that's why we call non-essential. We don't require any food or else anything. our body itself can produce these type of amino acids. So that's why we call these as the non-essential amino acids, right? So these are the amino acid which can be synthesized in our body. You can make it out, and the examples are which can be synthesized in our body. We cannot depend on any sources, right? Our body itself can prepare these type of amino acids, and the examples are glycine, glutamic acid, glycine and glutamic acids are the two examples. You can find more examples in your book. So with this, we conclude today's class. In the next class, we will see the next point. That means I require a last one more class for this chapter, right?